Okay, welcome back to Way Out There on GJRB. I'm Gary J. Russin. I've decided at the last break that I'm going to dispense with all program logs. They don't work. I made program logs for this program before, and I made program logs for the Gary Russin program and our Freestyle Friday and everything, but this is Freestyle Friday shows. Don't always use a program log, which I always write. But I'm finding out very much in a hurry that the program logs don't work, especially if I have other things that I'm doing. And finding out that sometimes they don't work. So it's on the fly all the time on GJRB. That means everything is on nonstop. I'm just done with program logs, because they do not work entirely. All right, back to Way Out There on GJRB Online here on Friday, Freestyle Friday edition, always on GJRB, and this is where we put together a program and talk about the strange, the bizarre, the unusual, and some interesting stuff in science and that, and various things like that. And as I said about an hour ago, I was going to be talking to this guy named Dr. Glenn McPherson. Now, he is involved in this thing where people who hear a strange but unusual hum, which occurs sometimes, and as I was reiterating that story, McPherson stated that these hums are worse at night for some people, and it can drive them to a point of craziness. It'll drive them to the point of even committing suicide because they can't stand it. It's been reported on a lot of places, this strange sound. It sounds like a continuous Mack truck, or like a pickup, or one of the tractor trailers, like parked in front of your house, and the motor idling, kind of thing. But there's nobody there. You see, and I was talking about this earlier. A lot of this happened and started in places like in Europe, way back in 1970. So this isn't old stuff. Okay, this is not old stuff, and it barrels on the bizarre. Because a lot of times, like I said earlier, I think I've heard this thing. It sounds like a continuous truck idling, all right? And McPherson talked about this with George Norrie on a recent interview on Coast to Coast, and it was an interesting story in that he talked about how this thing doesn't go away at all. Not at all. It does not even go away. It's that he says there's no it'll never go away.
For it to stop. I'm not aware really of too many cases where people have completely escaped it.
Really? Just keeps going on and on and on?
But it is interesting that it does seem to stop in certain locations and it appears in others. And it has that very mercurial quality to it that is very intriguing to people like me who have a more traditional scientific background. There are some specific things that some people have reported, but don't work very well in the long term. It's funny. About a half dozen people in the last 6 months have reported that when they're taking a bath and they stick their head underwater, then it stops. Now, that of course won't work very well as a long-term solution. But apart from those obscure pieces of information like that, I'm afraid that I don't have a prescription, so to speak, for those who are looking to escape, except white noise, or better yet, pink noise. Pink noise is similar to white noise in that the power spectrum of the frequencies is equal across the octaves. Pounding surf, for example, is pretty rich in pink noise. White noise generators will work, but I think pink noise generators are probably a little bit more effective from what I've heard. And apart from masking the hum, I'm afraid that there tends not to be an escape from it.
What about the possibilities, the far-fetched possibilities, that extraterrestrials are beaming some sound down on people?
That's really interesting, and I always have an open mind to all of these kinds of theories. I suppose, though, that with a scientific background, I would say let's start with what we know as opposed to what we don't know. And what I mean by that is, if anyone wants to make that claim, I would certainly like to hear from them. But I'd also like to know what the claim is based on, and I'd like to know what sort of compelling evidence that they would have to support that claim. And everybody, like on my website and on my blog, everybody gets one chance with me, and I don't care how outlandish on its face anything sounds.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't buy the ET theory there. Like I said before, like I said, I have a tumor that I was diagnosed with last summer. And also resulting in tinnitus, which he talked about earlier with George Norton. He talked about tinnitus being a possibility. Tinnitus being that strange sound that people are plagued with, in which it's a consistent whistle. I get that all the time when I get off the air here from doing a show. I get a consistent whistle in my ear. It usually lasts about an hour or two sometimes. Sometimes it'll last all night. And it can be irritating at times, believe me.
Now here's a highlight.
I get to a point where I hear this.
Actually...
And it's weird. It is. It sounds like a consistent whistle.
It's a puzzling situation, isn't it, Glenn?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on to say that McPherson goes on to say that maybe we should be, that people should, public officials should be more responsible for it.
Do you believe that tinnitus exists, is real?
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
Well, because I know some people who have had this syndrome. I sometimes get it sometimes when I wear my headphones, and after a loud night at the show, you take them off, you could still hear, your ears are still bopping a little bit. So I believe it's real.
Right, and it's completely self-reported. And the people who suffer from tinnitus report roughly the same experience. Now, the hum is self-reported. And the people who experience the hum all report very similar and the same experience. And so there's no logical or practical reason why it shouldn't be brought up and treated equivalently. That only makes sense to me. I think part of the issue, again, is fear. Fear of people, and I'm convinced that there are large numbers of people sitting out there right now, people in positions of responsibility, people who are afraid to come forward. And not only that, again, we have the notion that the hum has been connected to all kinds of things that some people don't want to attach themselves to. I know on the World Hum Map, when you take a look at the reports at the hum.info, you will see a lot of very articulate, a lot of well-reasoned commentary and reports. I think what it will take is people who are willing to bank on whatever public credibility they have. People in positions of responsibility need to come forward. I happen to live in a very small town, and there was a price to be paid for coming out and being honest and open about what it is that we are experiencing. To similarly come forward and to bring this finally into mainstream.
In the case of the people who are experiencing this, what makes the hum stop?
Okay, that's where we picked up that interview. Just saying that he thinks that people are the positions of responsibility. Although, like I said before, I really don't know where these hums come from, and certain people in different parts of the country hear it. Some don't. So, I don't know. There really nothing you can really do about it. It's there. If you hear this truck idling, I just choose to ignore it. There's really nothing you can actually do about it. So, something that's there. Like I said, I hear that ringing. I guess it plagues radio people. Guys like me who do a talk show or do a radio show or doing anything in broadcasting. When you get off the air, you get that noise, the ear ringing. It's due to the consistent play of promos, commercials, and music, which play quite a bit on this program and stuff. Usually my program breaks and everything. And, play all day and play all night. And sometimes I use it to my advantage, actually. What I'll do is to what I call mental radio practice. I sit and I think about my program, and like I said before, I end up disappointed like I did again today because I'm finding out that my program logs don't work, and that's why I just deleted it off our computer. No more program logs. I'm just going to plan the program and make a log, maybe make a rundown of my segments, but that's all I'm going to do. Because I move things around a lot, I change things around a lot, and it just become a scribbled mess. So, as of today, that's it. On the fly, all the time, on GJRB, because GJRB is a freestyle station, and it's the way radio used to be. Because radio personalities didn't have to go through a strict program log. It was usually the promos they had, the commercials they had to play. But college radio is free form, and the jocks can play what they want or do what they want on their program. But that's pretty much what my station's all about. Free form, just doing what you want on the air. Just, fly at the seat of my pants. That's what it is here on GJRB. I like to put it at a point where Dr. Freeman on MASH used to always say something about the ice, So anyhow, let's get back into more way out there here on GJRB, and if you want to get on the program, you can, and I'd love to hear from you. You can get on board by clicking that icon. It takes you to the little room there, the chat room, and you can be a part of that, and you can be on there with me by calling area code 563 my notes here 613-4260, and you can be on way out there here on GJRB and talk about it. And if you are one of those out there that has that problem, if you've had that problem of hearing ringing in your ears or hearing a consistent hum, give me a line on that. I can hear a hum in the background here at the station when I do my broadcast, and I think it's due to the equipment, because I'm running through my 9-foot signal, and I have my monitor up. I'm running through a old stereo receiver, and I got my headphones on, and basically use the other one as a monitor, and so I can hear buzzing, but I think it's a lot from from my equipment enabling me to broadcast. So a lot of that could be that too. Okay, we're going to go non-stop here, non-stop talk. And that means I threw my log away. It's in the garbage. I threw it away. That means that there is no promo breaks for the next hour, okay? No promo breaks for the next hour. And we'll wrap up the show and throw some promos in, but no promo breaks for the next hour, okay? All right, let's see what we got coming up now. I'm going to play some stuff here. I'm going to play some music and a promo break, but other than that, it's just going to be short promo breaks. And I've added another Way Out There show, and I'll give you the date of that later. I don't have a particular date planned for it yet, but it's going to be sometime in the next 2 weeks. As I add shows, I do that all the time. I add programs. Now, next Friday is going to be our Freestyle Friday edition of the Gary Russin program. That's going to go without a program log. Tomorrow's sports page will be on the air at 2 o'clock Central. I'm not doing that with a program log either. So, absolutely no program logs whatsoever at all for any of my programs on GJRB. The program logs are the logs that print after the show is over. Now I might use those again as a program log. I don't care if I'm on time or not. So finding out as I was doing my upcoming show that time really, as long as I start a certain song on time, it ends on time. I stay within the log for perimeter. But I don't like it too tight. My own 9-foot M signal. I buy log. That's it. I even deleted the log period. Why work? I just deleted it. I can't do it. And be a part of it, and we have a good time together doing Way Out There. Like I said, I'm going to keep a rundown. I might move the segments in the rundown, but I'll do some of the stuff in the rundown, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to do the whole entire rundown, because anymore I was thinking about this last night because I was cramming for this program, and you know how you cram for an exam. You think you're gonna win. You think you're gonna pass, but all you do is end up with a 75% kind of thing. It's the same thing here. I think I'm gonna pass, but my shows come out 75%. Doesn't even come out 65%, and I know how to fix that. And I think it's to get rid of the tightness of the program logs. I can't do it anymore. So now let's go on. I've got some more stuff here for you, and we got more Way Out There here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. just opened up my Skype. And so I'm available there if you want to get on board. We're going to be opening up that for you in the next half hour. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, yeah, I got some more good things. Linda Moulton House Earth Files. Like I said, I haven't been in there for a while. So we're going to do that. But now it's time for Strange But True. And I've got some real good stuff in that one. I was talking about this earlier. Asteroid may buzz Earth next month. Another one. NASA's warning this now. The Earth may be buzzed with another asteroid in March. Now, I'll be following this story for you when we do our next Way Out There show in a couple of weeks or so. Because it's interesting that we have that. I'm going to go to that page in my Facebook page right now. Go drop into there. I got that story. Another asteroid going to pass by us. Okay, I'm going to see, here it is. Now, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go there. I always do it, just open up hyperlink. And I'll go in there and pick the story. Okay, coming up right now. According to End Time headlines, it says that NASA's appointed a doomsday prophets in the data of science obsession. A space agency said Tuesday that the asteroid spotted for the first time just about a few years ago could carry very close to Earth next month. But it won't smash into us just yet. That's 2013 TX68. It's the latest close by, will pass by Earth on March 5th. March 5th, that's just it's the week from this coming, no, it's coming 2 weeks from now. March 5th. It's going to pass by us March 5th. So on March 4th, right here on Spreaker, GJRB Online, I have decided that's going to be our next Way Out There show. March 4th. We're going to add a Way Out There show Friday, March 4th. Now, as I said before, I'm going to talk about this real quick. I deleted the first 2 weeks of my March schedule. I only am scheduling for the last 2 weeks of March and the beginning of the 2 weeks in the last 2 weeks in April. That's going to be the month we start our regular Spring Spectacular. And I'm going to be changing my schedule a little bit there. So, Spring Spectacular is going to start in April. I'm going to start Spring Spectacular in April, but we're not going to start broadcasting until mid-month, about middle of April. Spring Spectacular. I move Spring Spectacular's commencement date. We're going to start that Spring Spectacular on, I'm going to start the Spring Spectacular on Monday, April 18th. Monday, April 18th, okay? Spring Spectacular will start Monday, April 18th. Now, that's pretty much in about the first few weeks of the spring. Spring starts at the top, bottom of March. So I'd say within about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll start our Spring Spectacular here on GJRB Online. So Spring Spectacular, April 18th, I'll be making promos to that effect. Because I only had my original promos for Spring Spectacular. I said it was starting in April, but I didn't give a confirmed date. So be aware of that. I didn't make a confirmed date on that. Just to let you know that. Let's see. At the bottom of this segment, I will take a program break. And then we'll be right back. And then I'm going to be on the air through till 6 o'clock. So I've added a couple more hours to it here on the air. So another hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. So I hope you'll join me and be part of the show. Way Out There on GJRB Online. on Spreaker, and I'm going to go ahead now and talk about that. Another interesting story, and some weird stuff, including a story about Nikola Tesla, who predicted, and I'm going to go check it in, he predicted that we would have cell phones. He predicted that there would be a thing called Facebook and a thing called Skype. He predicted that, according to the story. I'm going to go to that here in a minute, as soon as I get to my Facebook page. I'm going to be doing a scroll through social media here real quick. So I think while I'm doing that and while I'm at that, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Scroll through social media. Okay, WWQRS. Okay, I always keep losing that. Okay, here it is. Oops. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's just start off with doing a scroll through social.
Let's scroll through social media.
Okay, we're going to start with Facebook, since we thought we'd just get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my Facebook page here real quick. And yeah, they're predicting that, and you know, I'm gonna be watching this. There's about this thing, okay? Because I want to see what happens with this asteroid. I do follow a lot of what's going on. They said on March 5th, so I'll be watching that. Okay. Be keeping a close eye on this thing now, and seeing what comes up of it. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to give you a scroll through social media, but right now I'm going to continue Strange But True, and I'm going to find that story on Nikola Tesla. Let's see if I find it here. It's down the page a bit. Okay. Nikola Tesla predicted there would be Skype. He predicted Skype. I want to go to that article if I can find it. It's down here somewhere. Maybe I'll find it later on my break. But he predicted Skype. I'm going to go down the page a bit. I had copy pasted the link, but it wouldn't give me the link, so I had to copy paste the headline onto my rundown because I couldn't find it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have found it. Usually, I save a lot of articles on here, but I still haven't found it. Okay, if I find it, I'll let you know. Come on, it's got to be here somewhere. Further down the page, I don't know how many days ago did I find that. If I can't find it, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that story, but I will schedule it for the next Way Out There show, because I can't seem to find it right now. I'm finding everything else but it, so I'm going to skip that story, and I'm going to talk about that later. Another story about a ghost that was captured by a again, as a Christian, I don't believe this stuff. I don't fall for this ghost stuff, but according to a story here on here, a notorious demonic being, which that's what I call it, in a demonic house gets demolished. There's a house that was possessed, apparently. A house that was possessed, and it was located in Gary, Indiana. According to the headline, it was being fraught with demonic spirits and activity. Property rose to paranormal prominence in 2014 when an Indie Star wrote a investigative piece on it. Yeah, an investigative piece. Wrote an investigative piece on it. And, wow, we'll talk about that in the next half hour, because this is interesting. It really is. And gotta tell you, you know, like I said before, as a Christian, I don't believe in. I'm not going to entertain demons. You know. So I'll just say that it was what they said was a demonic being. I'll be talking about that next and a whole lot more as we continue way up there on GJRB. Be right back.